Hello and welcome back to Universally Bedford, your one-stop shop for everything Universal Studios, coming to the UK, to Kempston Hardwick, Bedfordshire, UK, England, you name it, it's coming. Now, what we're going to be doing in this series of videos is unpacking what is in the planning documents. Now, there have been a lot of documents dropped on the government website, and we want to demystify it and try and cover everything that's inside. Now, we have uploaded all of these to a data repository so we can dig in, but I thought it would be fun to have a look in real time and see what there is. So this is the very first in this series, so you're not going to want to miss the rest. We also do construction updates live from the site and much more. So you want to get us on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook and Instagram. You want to see us in all of those places. But let's kick off today's tour. So here we are on the government website, and this is the page where you can find out everything there is to know about Universal's plans for a world-class theme park and resort right here in the UK. We can scroll down here and we can have a look at the documents. So as I said, we're going to be looking at document number 1 today. So let's have a little bit of a look. Part 1. So we have a cover letter. Let's have a little bit of a look through that. That'll be our first dipping our toes into what could be a quite exciting collection of documents. So let's just make this a bit bigger so my little eyes can manage. Universal Destinations and Experiences UK project, former Kempston Hardwick Brickworks and adjoining land in Bedford, cover letter. It's getting real, isn't it, guys? All right, I'm delighted to provide this letter and supporting documents regarding a planning proposal for a Universal Entertainment Resort Complex and associated development in Bedford, brackets, the project. We believe that these documents provide all necessary information to enable the Secretary of State for Housing, Communities and Local Government, catchy title, to consider and decide whether to grant planning permission for the project. Then there's a lot of bump here about, I'd like to extend a sincere thank you to everyone who's been engaged, blah. Now, our planning proposal. So these are the highlights. Right. The planning proposal we are asking MHCLG to consult on and making a planning decision for is an entertainment resort complex, ER, comprising a theme park and associated uses, including retail, dining and entertainment, visitor accommodation, sport, recreation, leisure and spa facilities, venues with conference and convention spaces, associated services and uses for any operational and administrative functions, utilities generation, storage, collection, treatment and processing facilities associated with the ERC, vehicle parking, maintenance and servicing, access routes and circulation spaces, landscaping, utility, conveyance, infrastructure and use of land necessary to support construction. Lots of stuff in these documents. As I said, each one is going to have a juicy tidbit in it, so you're not going to want to miss one. Make sure you're subscribed. The minimum development program, of the ERC to be delivered in the initial phase, that's up to 2031, is designed to accommodate 8.5 million annual visitors and 55,000 visitors per peak day, consisting of, here we go, a destination, meaning international as opposed to regional or local, big time. Theme park of at least 32.37 hectares inside, excluding guest parking. Right, 32.37 hectares. Come on then, 32.37 hectares in acres, because that's what we speak. Right, so it's saying at least 80 acres. Okay, we were expecting, but this is minimum numbers. Okay. With an emphasis on highly immersive storytelling and theming, with an international draw, focusing on providing a first-class guest experience. Look over your shoulder, Merlin. Next up, dining and entertainment venues available to ticketed and non-ticketed visitors to the ERC. So this is like a destination that will be open to everyone. So even if you don't have a ticket to the theme park, you can still enjoy some of those. Visitor accommodation with a minimum of 500 hotel rooms. Minimum. Associated services and uses for any operation or administrative functions such as office buildings and warehouse storage facilities. Little less glamorous, but all important when it comes to running and operating a world-class resort. Vehicles and cycle parking, including a minimum of 7,106, they've been quite precise there, car parking spaces, 100 coach parking spaces, and 250 cycle spaces. I live very close, so I will be taking my bike. Green infrastructure, including an environmental enhancement area to be provided at a minimum of 49.3 hectares. That's larger than the theme park. Interesting. Now, this might be some of the lake zone development that they're talking about. We'll get onto that maybe in this document, but probably a future video. Active travel routes throughout the site which facilitate connections from the ERC to the surrounding active travel network. We're talking rail, we're talking road, and of course connections to Luton Airport as well. Now, associated infrastructure necessary to support full build out of the ERC comprising subject to dependencies table, document reference 618.0. We'll get to that. And the travel plan, document reference 4.5.6.0. Again, we'll come to that. A new A421 junction and dual carriageway slip road. Realigned and upgraded Manor Road to a dual carriageway access road between Ampthill Road and the Marston Vale Railway line. Very interesting. An expanded Wixham's Rail Station. International? Maybe. Once the expanded Wixham's Rail Station is provided, shuttle bus service between the expanded Wixham's Railway Station and the theme park. So, that alludes to the fact that the Wixham's Railway Station will not be in walking distance to the entrance to the theme park, which gives us a clue as to the orientation of the theme park in the plans. The full description of development is provided at document reference 1.9.0 of this submission, future video. In addition, UDX has committed to specific measures in an employment and skills plan, document reference 6.12.0. We'll come to that, including UDX will deliver at least 800 creative industries job at the ERC in its opening year and maintain this level for at least 5 years. UDX will provide a minimum of 55 apprenticeships annually from the second full year of operation, rising to 70 by the 5th full year of operation. And UDX will support 100 high-risk or socio-economically disadvantaged students annually by the second full year of operation. I think that's a really great thing for the Bedford and local area, that this development will be elevating the individuals and families of the area. Fantastic. For the avoidance of doubt, the uses that would be allowed through any planning permission would not exceed the thresholds for nationally significant infrastructure projects, NSIP, in the Planning Act 2008 as follows. The road components for roads operating at 50 miles per hour or above, including limits of deviation, are below the 12. This is very technical, isn't it? The on-site energy generation will not be more than 49.9 megawatts. Okay. The related development will not result in the construction or alteration of a stretch of railway track that has a continuous length of more than 2 kilometres and is in any event an operation on operational land. We know that, and they're working with the railways to make sure that this works. Okay, here we go. Beneficiaries. The planning proposal contemplates that development could be undertaken by UDX and those under contract with UDX and by relevant statutory undertakers. So these are the people that will be doing the work. Now, we will cover off the dependencies in future videos. There's a lot of documents and we will be covering all of them. Now, key benefits. These are probably some of the most juicy highlights. The materials provided in the submission that accompanies this letter include information on the impacts and benefits of the project, which include the following key benefits. The creation of 8,050 new jobs once the project is operational, rising to 10,000 by year 20 of operation. That is fantastic. That's a lot of jobs. Now, these could be in operations or in creative or digital technology, all sorts. So they're going to be everywhere from quite low skilled jobs all the way to very, very skilled jobs. Our experience in other markets indicates that for every single job supported within the theme parks, that's the 8,050, it can be expected that at least 1.5 further jobs would be supported across the economy, resulting in another 12,075 to 15,000 jobs being created in supporting communities. So in total, you're looking at least 20,000 to 23,000 jobs created on opening day by this park. And we anticipate that approximately 80% of those working at the theme park and resort once operational will come from the local area, specifically from the local authority areas of Bedford, Central Bedfordshire, Luton and Milton Keynes. The provision of thousands of further jobs generated through the construction phase, with an estimated peak on-site workforce of 5,380, many of whom will be from the local area. There is an employment and skills plan, which we'll cover in a future video. We're also looking at the UDX plans to develop local communities. So uplifting services, so they may be transport services, they may be other facilities, utilities kind of thing. And those, because they're necessary for their investment and everyone else will benefit. Here we go, infrastructure time. The infrastructure to facilitate access to the entertainment resorts complex includes an expanded train station on the Midland Main Railway line at Wixham's. We know about that. That's being converted from a 2-platform to a 4-platform, to be detailed in future documents. A new A421 junction, a new public entry road connecting to Manor Road, and significant improvements to Manor Road. It also safeguards land for a potential new railway station on the proposed East-West Rail Bletchley to Bedford line, could this come forward in the future. So they're hedging their bets, so that's dependent on East-West Rail. A commitment to ecology and landscaping areas that help to celebrate the beauty of the natural world. Our proposals include planting thousands of trees and dedicating large areas for ecological restoration and enhancement. Brilliant. Great stuff. Okay, now we go. Timelines. Timeliness. We need planning permission for the project in 2025. This year, to be able to open the theme park and to start to deliver the economic benefits of the project in 2031. The clock's ticking. This timeline would not be possible if we were to ask the Secretary of State to consider designating the project as an NSIP under S35 of the Planning Act 2008 or under other available consenting routes. Okay, fine. Basically, this is why they're doing an SDO. Investor confidence. To make this significant investment, we need a future-focused planning approach that ensures our ability to build world-class, innovative attractions to the project well into the future. Right. National coordination. Basically, let's get everyone working together. Combined consenting route. Why they're doing an SDO. The global nature of consent. So that's talking about them as a global enterprise, effectively saying, look, we will be benefiting the theme park industry as a whole globally, but also the nation. And they want to have the same benefits that Disney benefits from in Disneyland Paris, right? Very interesting. Okay. This will not be possible to be achieved under the more traditional UK consenting routes. So again, qualifying why they're doing the SDO. This has benefits beyond local importance. They've already talked about that. Cross issues. Okay, Opera is located within the Bedford Borough Council administrative area, but it's very close to the border with Central Bedfordshire, many of which the local community who would be directly affected by our project live. So basically, they're saying here we are having consultations with everyone, not just the local authority where this project is taking place in. Significant architecture and urban design issues. Our project is delivering a significant new development into the locality with unique architectural and urban design concepts that require national consideration. Again, these are all why it's going to the SDO and not through a standard planning application, right? National security. The proposed development is for a large visitor attraction of which there is no current comparable in the UK, with a peak of 55,000 visitors a day from grand opening. This requires sensible consideration of security matters to ensure public protection, which can only be made at a national level. Very sensible. Makes a whole lot of sense. Right, supporting documentation. Our submission is accompanied by a significant volume of materials to support your assessment of the project. A list of all the documents and their purpose is described in the guide to the planning proposal provided at document reference 1.4.0. We'll be getting to that. We trust that this provides you with the necessary information to enable the Secretary of State to consult on and consider making a planning decision. We are excited to move on to this next step in the process, and our teams stand ready to assist in your scrutiny of these documents. Great. Well, look, that's done. Done. We've only got a few more to go. But I want you to be there with me on the journey, so make sure you are subscribed and tell me what you're looking forward to most. Was there anything in this document that jumped out at you? Anything that surprised you or made you think? Anything that particularly excited you or got your feels going? Let me know in the comments, and of course, don't forget to follow us here for all the latest. We are on YouTube, on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and all of the places you'd come to expect. And we post a lot of updates. You're not going to want to miss one of them. See you soon.